Let's review part of the Seattle market together. Today, we're going to review the 98105, aka the University District. What's happening in Seattle real estate today? That's always the question. Where's the market going? Where's the market heading? In response to one of our comments, someone asked us to review Seattle in the 98105, aka the University District. Here is the good old Google map of the 98105, and we're going to dig into the data together today. And if there's something specific after this video that I missed or you've got more questions on, just simply drop them in the comments below and let's start digging into the data together. Now, what's happening to the price range there in the 98105? As you can see, the median price, it actually bounces up quite a bit, up and down, up and down. Average price does a lot of the same. One thing to be knowing specifically about this area is this is already demonstrating to you that there are some lower priced properties and some higher priced properties. So there's a big range. That's what's causing this data to be choppy. As we look at this data, we're looking at on a monthly basis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth it out right now so that we can kind of look at it on a 12-month rolling basis here. As we look at it, you can see the median price is up 4.5% year to date, ending in September 2025. And so the price here in Seattle, it's slowing just like it has been everywhere else. Because as rates stay higher for longer, this rate of appreciation is slowing down, and you can clearly see that in the data. Median means the middle. That means you take the top, you take the bottom, whatever the middle is. And the average is we add them all together and then divide by the total. The average is up 6.2%. So understand that the 98105 is out appreciating King County as a whole, which isn't surprising. This is a wonderful area, close to everything, easy commuting, beautiful housing there. Listings are up 15.9% or 16% year to date. Monthly, ooh, look at that jump right there. 46%. Okay, this is where the media keeps trying to really step up and scare us. They use these headlines, oh, listings are up, 46%, but there's really not that much inventory. We haven't even left a buyer's market. I'll show you that here in the month supply of pending. You can see in the month supply of pending that we've gotten to 3.8 months. Now, because if we go back further in time and we start looking at like, well, what was it like in 2020 and 2019 and 2021? Everyone gets used to this super hot market right here, and they start to assume that's how the real estate market is going to always behave. But really what's been happening is we're returning to more of a normal market today, and don't expect this to continue long term. And what I mean by that is this return to a normal market has already started to go away because rates have started coming down. And as rates come down, let's look at the 10-year Treasury together. As rates come down, our market will just continue to heat up. So see year to date, what direction is the 10-year Treasury in? It's trending down, which means debt is going to get cheaper. As debt gets cheaper, more buyers enter the market here in the Seattle Metro, and especially in the 98105, because that's highly desirable right there. Going back into the data, so 3.8 months. If you look at new listings, it sounds scary, but really you're only at 3.8 months. Another way to think of 3.8 months of data is you can assume that if no new homes came on the market in 3.8 months, we would literally run out of inventory. The number of homes for sale is up almost 18%. Okay, so still trending up. This is abnormal for this time of year. Usually what happens is right there at the end, we start to trend down. It peaks. We should be peaking again this year right now, sometime September, October, just like we did. And then of course, people then pull their properties off the market for the holidays. Pending sales, 3%. Let's look at it instead of monthly. Let's look at it as a rolling 12. So pending sales still up 8.7%. Not that bad. Closed sales up 13%. Let's look at it on the monthly data. Ooh, look at that drop. See that drop in the data, right? Look at that drop. That right there is clear indication that parts of the market were slowing down. And we were really seeing and feeling that here at the end of summer. It was kind of a slow July, a slow beginning to the August. And then the end of August kind of started to pop, and we've seen a great, push here in the beginning of September. I believe heading in towards the latter part of this year, we are headed into the final round of what I'm calling deal season. If you've been one of our listeners for a while, I've been talking to you about how this higher interest rates is providing opportunity because the fundamentals here in the Seattle Metro are, it's really freaking hard for us to build houses. The government has super long timelines attached to it. Our zoning doesn't allow a lot of single family homes to be built. They want more townhomes. They want more apartments. So our supply is massively pinched. Well, how pinched? My estimates here for the Seattle Metro is we are about 4 years behind on new construction. I've been doing new construction investing and land development stuff since 2003. So I've been doing this a couple years, watching this data. I'll tell you, we are very behind on new construction. So expect prices to continue to rise even as the economy slows down. As the economy slows down, what will happen, just to reiterate, is the 10-year will continue down. Rates today are at about 6.375 for just your normal buyer. Of course, you can get it lower than that. And of course, some buyers will be higher than that. But with rates getting towards the low sixes, what starts to happen is the market starts to pick up in activity. Expect rates based on the trend of the 10-year Treasury that I just showed you to be lower in the spring. So expect that traditional hot spring market to come and hang out with us like usual. Days on market, let's look at the average. 21 days on market, really not that bad. That's still only 3 weeks on the market. Here's what I was talking about. Look at this percent of original list price. When you look at percent of original list price, this is a way for you to think about the data. 100% means if a property went on for $1 million, it sold for $1 million. If it's 97, it means it sold for $970,000. So now let's look at the data together. You can see in the spring, we got into bidding wars in 2024. You can see we got into bidding wars in 2023. And of course, in 2022, let's show you how crazy it got. 2022, 2018, 111%, and it peaked at 110.8 in 2022. That's just wild. It shows you how desirable that area is. But let's go back to this. So we went through our spring market. We peaked in June. Oh, look at that. People are starting to get a discount in August, 97.9. And there's that pickup in activity I already told you about that we were personally experiencing, 98.6. Generally speaking, you can see that heading into this fall season, the fall season is usually the best time to buy a property. So I'm talking October, November, December, so fall, winter, and then January. Depending on when the spring market starts, it's all weather dependent here in Seattle. If the cherry blossoms come out, the spring market starts. Seriously, that's how it works. It's just weather. But once the cherry blossoms are out, expect prices to start to rise. Then prices generally rise all the way until June. All right, let's dig back into the data. I love looking at this one. This is called the average price per square foot. You can see in August, it was $647,000 and it dropped to $552 in September. In other words, like I said, people were getting a little bit of deals. Shows depending. Now, this is something that you would be looking at on the seller side, and you can use this as buyer data too. The average home is currently receiving 6.6 showings, but they need 11 to go pending. So if you're not getting enough showings, you're a seller, then you have to ask yourself, is it the price? Is it the condition? Is it the positioning inside of the market? Because the data says that if you're not getting enough showings, then the market is rejecting you based on one of those items. If you received more than that and didn't get an offer, the data is actually telling you the same thing, just in reverse. Anything else that we wanted to look at on this one? I just want to see one more thing real quick. I want to look at the new construction data just to see if there's any difference in new construction. No, not enough data. Yeah, not enough data in that little zip code of just new construction to make anything really pop there. So I will close with this. I love looking at this data. I love having conversations about real estate. We love helping our buyers and our investors get amazing deals because of this information. If there's some specific that you wanted to go into in the 98105, aka the University District, let me know. Drop it in the comments, a neighborhood or a specific property. We'll go take a look at it. I'm Anton Stetner with RESG. Let us know how we can help you make the best decisions for your real estate needs based on the data and the facts and not emotions.